Hey everyone, welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. That's what I was expecting. We were out of creosote oil, so I cut the line. I thought we would have recovered, but we seemingly did not. It's actually not running currently. I cut the connection right here, but we're still not full on creosote. At least some of the combustion generators are full, and we're mainly running on the steam. But that's not the main thing to worry about. I moved our tanks from over here and combined them together into this huge tank, which is actually a little bit bigger. Right here, as you can see, it's really large and almost filled with oil. One bucket is missing because I kind of ran out of oil on the last bucket, so we just gotta deal with it. But we got a lot of oil, now we just need to refine it. And to do so, we're going to need a distillery. Yes, there we go. Quest complete. Let's quickly claim that in EU. Scroll out. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff. Let's first of all... Oh, we have selection task. We're going to take the cells since we're probably going to need them more. And we have a lot of potential fuels we can produce. Let me maybe look into these and see which one we should do. I might be reading something wrong or not understanding this correctly, but we can convert 25 liters of oil into 25 liters of sulfuric light oil, fuel. And the other stuff is not as great of a conversion rate, besides the sulfuric gas, which is even more sulfuric gas for our oil. I think they must have different burn time, because right here it states that we get a burn value of 25,000 EU, and the other ones are all 40 EU and 40,000 EU. So the sulfuric light oil fuel right here seems to be the best one to go for. I at least think. Maybe. But I don't know. Anyways, I believe we might need all of them. No, this one is a main quest, and the other ones... Oh no, the sulfuric... that stuff and the light sulfuric fuel are our main quests, so those are probably the ones to go with. So let's place in our basic combustion generator. I placed our machine, oh there's the cover here, let's quickly get rid of that. Place in our distillery below the tank so the oil is automatically getting input, as you can see here. But it's only, I think that's the desired amount. Let's quickly hook that up right here. And yeah, that works. Then we have the output below it. We're going to have fluid auto output, and then we're going to hook that first of all back up to the generator so we have continuous power, as well as to a tank which I have in my inventory but don't know where to place right now. Figured everything out. As you can see, I placed the tank right down here so we could connect up to it very easily. And it's looking like this, which is a little bit weird, to be honest, but it's okay, it's good. We can connect up a pipe right below here, and it's obviously going to have the output in the tank. And then when we go up here, we can access these few drawers. Going to have another one here and a few more in this space right there. And when we now give our generator a little bit of oil to get started, we probably won't be distilling anything because we are going to need a circuit right here to tell it what we want to distill. Let's halt the production because we don't actually need that stuff. That's the false quest. We need the NEF. I'm going to look up how to say that, not even attempt it right now. Let's take out what we have in here. Let's check out what we... Okay, maybe not. I didn't crash the server, but I think someone else might have. Let's take that out. Let's stop talking and take that out. How much fuel did we actually make? 4. Well, let's pick that up at least. We might hand in the quest at some point. What's the stuff that we actually need? I'm just going to reprogram the circuits to the stuff that we need, and then we'll see how fast that goes. Hopefully a lot faster than this fuel. Please go in there. Why am I even making you if you don't work? Do I have the wrong generator? Am I doing something wrong here? Because the first one didn't work either. Now this one doesn't work. Let's try on this. I'm clearly doing something wrong here. I just don't quite know what. Obviously, I was doing something wrong. That page I just had open was unrelated, but I just figured it out. We actually need a gas turbine since the fuel is actually a gas. And as far as I know, we even have one. Yes, right here, basic gas turbine. Let's take that, put it in place, and see if that works now. It worked, but I already switched fuels because I wanted to make the, sulfuric light fuel. And that's what we have enough of right now to hand in the quest. So we have the light fuel and we have the naphtha. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Let's quickly go over here. And yes, it unlocked the normal light fuel. And right here we have the sulfuric naphtha. I think that's from naphthalene, right? Maybe? That's the only thing I heard of. So this stuff is pretty good, and I'm guessing this stuff is also pretty good, and they're not too hard to get. I just have to read through some of this stuff maybe, as well as some of that stuff, and wager which one is better of the two. Light fuel appears to be the way to go, so we need a chemical reactor, and definitely a few more of the basic distilleries. I just don't quite know what that's going to involve. And we might need a lot more oil, seeing as we're already drained around a quarter of what we had before, and we just completed the quest, so that's not too ideal. That's one. Great. I'm making progress, for sure. Was that even a quest? I think that's already been done. Yes, I believe that's the chemical reactor, and we actually might need... I'm going to look into how I make hydrogen and if we're going to need another machine for that. But I want to know, can we go maybe in this direction back here, since that might be a place where we have to process our stuff, as the space up here is pretty limited. So I'm going to hit out some drawers, probably craft some more of these, what are they called, basic distilleries, as well as figuring out how I actually produce nitrogen. Hydrogen, not nitrogen. Let's give this a little try. I'm currently extracting the sulfuric light fuel and trying to get it going here. Oh, I still need the circuit, but I have the electrolyzer over here. This is a little bit messy since we have a lot of fluids going around. We have oil going into the basic distillery, power from the bottom, then we need the fuel we process from the basic chemical reactor to go back into our basic combustion generators, and the light fuel goes all the way in here and into the chemical reactor over here. Now I just need to program this circuit and everything should be running. Here we go, the first batch. I have to click that, and then we hopefully get something. Just right now the server has to lag. Perfect. Okay, we get our light fuel. Some of it should go into the tank. Yes, some is correct, maybe? No, we still have some other stuff in there, so it's probably going into the combustion generator over here, the one over here, and this should now not be doing anything since we're still missing the card. But this is now set up and almost ready to go. I still need a hydrogen supply for what I need a water supply for right here at the basic electrolyzer. A little bit more setup. It's also looking a little bit worse every single time as I destroy more and more stuff around it. But we now have a water tank back there. Then we have our electrolyzer, which is working. Let's quickly get the item output going. It should go all the way up in here and then down to here, where we currently await the 12 buckets, I believe it is. Maybe it's even 16. We still have to figure out what to do with the hydrogen sulfide as well as the oxygen that we get from the basic electrolyzer. I might just get some basic tanks and store that stuff in there because it's not too much that we get. We can't get a lot of oxygen though, but this shouldn't be too bad. We might actually not be getting that much oxygen. So there would be the possibility of just having the tanks right here, and that might just be what I do, like having tanks going up all the way here, and then that should be good enough. Here we go, you can see it. Full automation. Probably. I think it's full automation. It's become way more of a mess, as I said. The more I do, the more mess it becomes, but we have everything installed now, I believe. We have tanks for the oxygen, we have tanks for the hydrogen sulfide, and the cells should now be cycling through everything, and we should have a lot of hydrogen cells in here at all times. The thing we need to do now, though, is just speed this up by crafting a few more of these guys back there. I think they're the refineries, since those are what's slowing us down currently. But as you can see, we already have quite a bit of fuel, and the entire setup is also self-sufficient, which is amazing, very messy. If I redid this setup, it would probably be looking a little bit better, but it's working for now, and if we need more, then I'm definitely going to redo this entire thing. Increase the amount of refineries we have right here. We have 3 of them now, and currently the water or the hydrogen is barely able to keep up, so I believe we're pretty good. We might be a little bit too good. Seeing this right here, how much oxygen is in here? None. So just the pipes are filled up. Might need to get a new tank, and I can probably take one off right here. We're also filling up on the fuel quite a bit, even though we're simultaneously using it over here already. I've been processing a lot of steel as well as the aluminium right here. In total, we've gotten 17 right there, and I have around half a stack, I think, already in our chests over here, which we really have to move at some point. Also been starting to process all of the ores that I can process currently, and want to get them in their final forms as much as I can. We still miss some machines that we currently can't produce to really achieve that, but as you can see, there's a lot of random stuff in this chest. For example, pyrite, I'm currently processing sulfur, and a lot of random stuff in here, a lot of random ores in this chest, and I'm currently just waiting and processing. However, we might want to progress on our quest line, so in order to do that, we need some refined glue setup, which we can make with a basic centrifuge and a basic assembling machine. We're going to have the setup similar to what we have over here with the tin item pipe in the center, and maybe let's just throw a chest over here, and then going to have the tin item pipe running around this area, output to the top on not both of them. It has to fluid output to the side, the centrifuge. So we're going to get a thing installed to the top that it can still pull out items, a conveyor belt, and then we want the auto fluid output, and then it's going to go into the basic assembly machine, which we want a item output into the top, and then the products are going to go into the chest. And right in here, we're only going to process sticky resin. So if I hook this all up to power and get some sticky resin, we should be able to see it working. Well, I've really been crushing my keyboard in that last clip, but everything is hooked up now. I hear a spider as well, which is just great. And we have a lot of refined glue. But what I found out is in the quest book, under coins, you can actually buy a lot of liquids. Especially refined glue is what struck my interest, since you can get 64 for just 25 coins. And currently I can't really produce it well, so that is a really good option. But I digress. I did a little bit more stuff. For example, I did some more oil processing, got some more oil. The tank down here is completely filled, and I even used some low voltage item filters right here that I looked up. And this system should now be fully automatic. At least that's what I'm hoping. I believe we might still be lacking some water, but currently we have an overproduction of the fuel, so our blast furnace over here can run the entire time as long as it has the required liquid. I also hooked up some item pipes so we can input our items in the front, right down here in this chest, the items that we want to process and input, and the output is up here. And that's a pretty simple setup, but what we need to do next is to automate our steel production, I think. Since what's really lacking in my hands and basically everywhere when I want to craft things, it's steel. And in order to automate it, we need to get some oxygen production going. And this is nitrogen. Nitrogen is rather easy to get. For oxygen, we need a few more machines, especially including a lot more steel. I also made a few more items. For example, I have my backpack right here with some random items that I sometimes use. Also fulfilled a few more quests, especially in the Begins and in the Stone Age quest line, but we still have some to go. I've been trying to go for the blacksmith ones, since in coins you can actually buy steel for some blacksmith coins, and that would be something we should be interested in. Also been processing a lot of items that we just have lying around into the ingot forms, as you can see, for example, nickel right here. Let's check that over to this wall. Been filling that up a little bit, so nickel down here is over 1k now, and that is pretty good. Now I just need to craft the required items for down here, which by the way are around, I think, 6 or 7 machines that we need, so that's a lot of steel. Also, we recently ran out of the electric motors, so I'm currently waiting on those a little bit. I'm not quite sure what I even need. I think it's the tin cables, and then we should be able to craft a new batch of those. Luckily, we still have enough circuits to last us a little while. So let's see. None in here, so they're probably right down here, which means I can actually craft those, and then I have to see what more I need to craft. We need, I believe, at least 3 of something and 3 of another thing. I don't quite remember. It's been some time since I made the list. I remember again, since it's actually down here. We need a basic compressor and a basic centrifuge, since we want to centrifuge the compressed air cells in order to get oxygen, and then the nitrogen gas we're just going to void, which is the reason I have a fluids trash can right here. We also need a lot of basic combustion generators. According to my calculations, we actually might only need 1 of these for all 6 machines, as the machines, this one only requires, I believe, 2 EU per tick, and this one 8, and that's like 10 times 3 is 30, and this thing can supply 32 EU per tick. Now I just need to figure out how to arrange these best down here, and I believe I even need a machine that uncans the fluids as well, and actually going to need some conduits since I only have the bronze fluid pipes on me. But I'm going to figure that out because I'm probably going to fail a lot and then see how it looks in a second. Even though it's not quite done yet, I thought I would start to fill you in. We're going to have the compressors all the way down here, and these are going to output everything to the top right here, which are mainly going to be the items. So this one. Then right up here we're going to have the basic centrifuge. We're going to output the fluids all the way on top, and it's going to lead into a liquid trash can for now. This is going to be the nitrogen that we currently don't really need. We need it to process aluminium, so I would like to store it at some point, but for now it's just a liquid trash can. Then back here we export all of the items. We have to use the conveyor belt module for that, and those are going to go into 2 sorters. One sorter is going to send the empty cells that we're getting from the centrifuge back to the compressors, and the other one is going to take a oxygen cell and take that up to a basic fluid canner, which is going to uncan the entire thing. We're going to then have a fluid outer output on the back, and then have that connect up to our hatch right here, like that. Now we can also remove this, which is, well, shouldn't have crafted 3 of them, but just 2 because we don't need this anymore. Let's drink it anyways, so let's pick that up. Then we have the items that need to be output with a conveyor module right here, and then set that correctly, and that has to connect up to the small item pipe down here, and like that. Everything I believe should be connected up. I still need to have all of the outputs set correctly, and then this should be ready to go. We have 1 combustion generator here that should be enough for all of these machines, and then we have another one that we previously used for the centrifuge that hooks up to the basic fluid canner and the 2 sorters. Okay, everything should be configured correctly. Let's take 3 stacks of empty cells and stuff them into the compressors, and then we should hopefully see everything working. There's 1 cell currently in here somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it is. That was the full oxygen cell. Let's see. Yeah, let's just have that one, since we have 1 going around somewhere, as you can see right here. And now it's basically just waiting time, I'm guessing. And I'm going to update you. We currently have 0 steel, and when we produce some steel, it's going to go right in here. This one, centrifuge, is starting to go. That's the one that had a little bit more cells. And next up, these two are going to go. Currently, they have 4. And in a few seconds, they should have their 5 going as well. And then we should see the liquid going into the bronze fluid pipe and the items hopefully into the correct solder. And then up here, we actually had some oxygen already in here since I processed the cell. So we might already see some steel in here, which is pretty good. I also used 3 of them, not because I thought it was a nice number, but because it should be a sufficient amount to keep the steel production running on full speed. I also wanted to move the blast furnace from here into these spots right here, either in these 2 or potentially the center one could have one as well, and then have the blast furnaces in this chunk rather than right around here, which might be a little bit better. But now that I look at this setup down here, there might not be enough space in between these areas, like right here, to set that up. But that's something I gotta worry about later on, since currently we barely had enough steel to even make all of these machines, and I now have to practically wait and see if we can produce enough steel and also in a sufficient amount of time. It's working pretty great down here. We already have 14. The only thing we need to watch out for is that we don't run out of the iron dust right here, because then our steel production is going to stop, and that's something we want to prevent under all circumstances. I thought that might look good. I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Also try to pretty this area up a little bit, but that totally doesn't fit there. I don't have any other blocks though, so it's going to stay. Also, right around here, I put in some glass, as you can see, and we can now look down and see all of the production. Nothing too interesting, not a lot of moving parts beside the centrifuges. Also put in something over here, a little glass window that you can see through. We'll look from down to up and up to down. Right here, I also, the spider's somewhere down here. We're filled up on the tank, and we need more tanks over here. So this might be something we focus on right now, creating more of these bulk craft tanks. So we need a lot of obsidian in order to do that. But before we tackle that, I wanna get something going, as we ran out of electronic circuits crafting all of these components. Especially the centrifuges take 4 electronic circuits, which is a lot. And therefore we are completely and entirely out of them, which is the reason why I'm currently crafting the, red alloy ingots right here, as well as a lot of other stuff, and we might need the second alloy smelter. What we need though, additionally to obsidian and the other stuff, is sand and flint, and I'm not too sure how much flint I have, but I believe that my macerator is currently not running, so let's just take some gravel and stuff it in the macerator. Also get some more gravel, some more sand we might also need, and then I'm going to also hunt for obsidian. Great, that gravel actually just makes stone dust, but we need the space anyways for our obsidian now. Right here and here, I farmed a lot of it. I actually didn't expect to farm so much, but that should be enough to get some tanks going now. We also need quite a bit of iron, which we should have though. I'm pretty sure we have all the iron we need, at least for now. Let's quickly check. 3K is actually not that much, but we're currently also processing some iron over here. A lot of iron ore, and hopefully a lot of iron in here then. The obsidian is taking its sweet time, a very, very long sweet time, and we have some other quests I think we should attend to, mainly this EBF infos, just because I think it will look cool. So we're going to need all of that stuff. We have to leave already, which is the most important part, because otherwise it wouldn't work. But we need these two, which are somewhat expensive at least, and we need circuits for that, which we are entirely out of. So we need to craft some circuits. Then we'll be able to probably make another EBF, I hope, when we have some more circuits. And I'm going to move this entire thing to over there and make another one over here, and then double the steel production, because this is not fast enough. 21. That should be more. That should be a lot more. That's twisting and turning. Let's quickly go in here. I feel like that should be a lot more. I don't really know. Going to keep an eye on that because I think it was 20 before, like a few minutes ago. So it should be more than 21, I would think. Oh, here we go. That's the issue. Not enough power. Well, someone fried the cable. Let's maybe get the bigger cables then, because that seems to have been fried. So, going to get the thick tin cables that we also have behind here, which is entirely unnecessary. And down there we actually needed them, which is great to know. So I'm going to make some of these because I'm pretty sure I don't have any. Or maybe let's get the episode wrapped up right here, since we're already 5 minutes overdue. And I think you've been waiting around 1 month for this episode. So I think it's time to wrap up now and get this episode out finally. I have been playing in these 5 months. It's not like 5 months. What? 1 month. It's just been a little bit slow since nothing has been working so quickly, which has somewhat discouraged me. But now we should be up and running again, and there should be more regular episodes coming out from this point onwards. I at least hope, since we should be able to branch into the new quest lines rather soon, as we're able to make aluminium now and all of the other ingredients that we should need. So that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed the episode and look forward to the new ones.